You back out now live to Brittany Edney on the campus of the high school there. Right behind you, Brittany, you have new information for us?
Yeah, I just spoke with a sophomore student. She says she was in the hallway when all of this happened, and she kind of described the chaos as it unfolded. She says at first they thought that this could have been a drill. They heard a lot of commotion, a lot of yelling, a lot of movement, and she says sometimes that they have similar incidents like this that are drill. And then by the time that she realized that this was actually happening, that's when kind of the terror sank in. She says that a teacher, her math teacher, was actually in one of the classrooms. Also, she describes it, she believes, probably unaware about what was going on, came to the door of that classroom, and when that door opened, she says that that teacher was shot. Now, this, of course, not yet confirmed for officials. This is what we are hearing from these students who were there in the hallway as all of this unfolded. She says right now she doesn't know how her teacher is doing, but what she saw was, this particular staff member on the ground, laying in blood, and she says this has just been extremely horrific and a terrifying experience. She says that this particular person, this instructor, is beloved and a really great educator. She's described him as the most chill teacher yet, and she just hopes that he is okay. She says the students love this particular individual, and she doesn't know what exactly happened, how that person is doing, but if something did happen fatally, she says this would be devastating for all the students who love and care so much about this teacher. I did ask, are there metal detectors in the school? She said no. She also described, as you know, this being a smaller town, a more closer and tight-knit community where things like this just don't really happen. She says this has all been extremely shocking and surprising. Right now, she's uniting with her family and really just kind of trying to process everything that happened and waiting to hear from other students as far as how they are doing. Guys?
This is unfortunately part of the ecosystem that we now sort of operate in as parents. When you send your kids off to school, a lot of the parents and students are required to bring the clear backpacks too, in addition to passing through the metal detectors, which you say don't exist on this campus. The clear backpacks, do you see that out there as well, or are students just attending with the regular backpacks on them?
That's a great question. Now, from the students that I have spoken with and seen kind of walking through, there haven't been that many, but the ones that I have seen, I have not yet seen a clear backpack. That does not, however, mean that that's not a policy or that doesn't exist, but I have not yet seen that. But again, as we were kind of just discussing, that student says, there are no metal detectors here. But she said, as she described, that there are frequent drills, and that's where a little bit of confusion kind of came today, is because at first they said, oh, was this a drill or is this something more serious? And she kind of described her and her classmates' experience as really just a lot of the unknown, and then people kind of coming into that shooting as they tried to figure out, was this a real situation? And tragically and unfortunately, it turned out to be true. She said, of course, this is something you kind of just only see in the movies or, when you turn on the news. It's just not something, she said, she expects to ever really happen to you, and also, especially again, this being such a smaller town where, a lot of violence doesn't typically break out in these types of situations.
Brittany, you had mentioned that earlier you spoke with a parent who said that this happened in a 9th grade classroom. The student you just spoke to was a sophomore. Is it clear if this was like on the same hallway or if this was a class with multiple grades in it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm glad you brought that up because I do want to clarify. We do not yet know, or I do not know rather, if that classroom that had the 9th grader in it who experienced seeing a student leave the classroom and come back in with a gun, if that was the same situation. Just as how they have described it, it doesn't sound like it is, but at this time we're still waiting to kind of hear from law enforcement as far as what happened and really give a confirmation on how many people were shot, were injured, and a number on the casualties, but from what they have described, it doesn't sound like they are one and the same. So it kind of sounds like you have the teacher who was shot in the classroom when a student came back in, per these students, and then also a 10th grader describing being a hall over and then watching everything unfold, and then having a math teacher come to the door of a classroom along that hall, try to check things out, and then getting shot. And again, she just really described the trauma that she experienced as watching this beloved math teacher just lay there in that hallway after getting shot. Definitely, you know, especially just these kids being so young, this is something you don't expect to see in real life. And right now there's a lot of emotion swirling around, and as these students come and try to you know, wait to get connected with their family, you know, of course, I also spoke with a parent who says, you know, she just is really concerned about her middle school and elementary school students who are on a lockdown, and she can't even get them yet. And even though she says she didn't have a child in the high school, it still is just a traumatizing experience for the entire community. And she really just want to, you know, get those kids, hold them, talk to them, and as a parent, try to describe and explain, if she even can, what happened here today, and just be there as a support system for those kids. Lindsay.
Well, our thoughts and our prayers are certainly with that teacher who presumably was reportedly, though unconfirmed, shot Brittany, and certainly all the other victims. I want you to stick with us for a second, because, and I don't know if you kind of gathered this as you were walking toward the area, but you have Apalachee High School behind you. You have Bethlehem Middle School off to the left of you, and then we saw in Brooks' live shot a parent walking with a child in arms. An elementary school, Yargo Elementary, which is also down the road there a piece, all of them presumably put on lockdown while all of this was going on.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's what that parent did confirm with me. However, I just spoke to her about 5 minutes ago, and she said she has not been able to get her children, one who is in middle school, another elementary school student. She says she has not been able to get them yet, but we have been seeing, you know, students trickle out, so I'm not sure what the official status is, or if they are being released, you know, just a few at a time, because we're not hearing, you know, an official word from the school district yet as to what that kind of process looks like. So she's still waiting personally for her two kids. However, we are seeing a steady stream, small albeit, of parents, you know, walking with their kids. But as you described, I mean, we've got a row of schools here, and that kind of just adds to the response and the congestion in this area, because for us to get here, you are looking at hundreds of cars. It lined so far, I looked on my car, it was about a 1.5 mile distance of how far out cars are parked from, you know, parents and you know, loved ones of students and faculties, etc., who are trying to make their way here. You got to walk about 1.5 miles just to get, you know, anywhere close to this school. That's how far those cars are lined, and that's kind of just the presence from parents. That's not even law enforcement. I mean, that's been tremendous as well. I've never seen anything like this in any type of Metro Atlanta story that I've been here for years. This response has truly been tremendous, and you've got just multiple agencies, jurisdictions, everyone working together. The presence is really just mind-boggling. I mean, this area is just full of probably 1,000, maybe 2 vehicles, because you're just seeing an overwhelming response from those who are trying to help out and those who are just, again, trying to make it here and connect with those kids.
And so, Brittany, you've been able to give us perhaps the clearest picture and the most compelling picture of what's happened so far, of what you've been hearing from parents as reported by their students. And I think it's useful and instructive, even though we're waiting for that 4 o'clock news conference to sort of confirm these details, exactly what those students told their parents happened this morning. Can you go over that again?
Yeah, let's talk about this and let it unfold a little bit, because I want to actually start with the sophomore girl that I spoke with. She is amazingly, I just have to commend her, composed in sharing her experience. She did want everyone to know about it. I asked her, I said, look, do you feel comfortable speaking? She says, yes, I want everyone to know not only what happened, but also about this beloved teacher. And what she described, again, was hearing a lot of noise and commotion, in the hallway. There was a lot of uncertainty. They really didn't know what was going on at first. And she says, they actually have a lot of drills and different situations here at the school, and it being, again, kind of towards the beginning of the school year. She says at first a lot of the kids were like, oh, you know what, maybe this is just a drill, and I didn't even get caught up on the fact that we were having a drill today. And then, after more commotion and people started running to the hallway, that's when the picture really became clear that something was going on, something was happening. And then she described how she was one hallway over, and then they started moving, and that at one point, that is when a math teacher who she described as just beloved and, again, quote, the most chill teacher and caring educator that they have. She says he's a personal favorite. She said that he came to the door of the classroom and kind of like her was trying to figure out what was going on, what's this commotion. She thinks, I do want to add, this is new as well. She says that she believes that, he's a hero just for being the fact that if there was just, say, a fight that was just simply breaking out, he wanted to go and check on it and figure out what it was and break it up, just to care about the students' safety of not mattering whether or not this was a shooting or not, but just to break up the fight. She says, that's the type of teacher he is, to always just make sure kids are okay. So she says that when that teacher came to the door of that classroom, that is when he was shot. She said that he, again, and this may be a little bit graphic, just heads up for our families at home, but that she saw him laying there on the floor at that kind of entrance of the classroom, meeting the hallway, in blood, and it was a terrifying experience. She says she doesn't know how he is doing, but that the injuries definitely did look severe, and that's causing a lot of concern, she says, for her and all of her other classmates, because, again, they loved this teacher just so much, and she's really having a hard time digesting that this happened, again, describing it as just being kind of like a scene out of a movie. Now, that is what we are hearing from a sophomore who was in a hallway, and the last thing that I do want to add from her experience was that she said that there was a tremendous police response when they arrived. She says that they were just running through the hallway. She said that one of her friends actually got just yanked and pulled into a classroom when this was happening as well. She said, and that's really another one of those key moments when she realized that something was happened, because people were yanking students in. So that also being a new tidbit right there about others just trying to pull students in. When you hear a lot about these various drills that schools will do, the first thing you hear about is when they go into the lockdown, the securing of the classroom. But from her description, how it sounded in that hallway near at least one of the shootings, one victim, she says that her friend, another student, a girl, was just yanked in by someone from the classroom. So what it sounds like from these student stories that they're sharing is that there was a lot of heart, a lot of caring from those inside the school, inside those classrooms, trying to get those other students to safety, yank them in as all of this was happening. Now, what we heard earlier from a father, he says that his daughter, she is a freshman. Let's kind of go over that story as well. Another just horrible account of what has happened and unfolded here at the school. I do want to go kind of just blanket this story once again and say we are still waiting for official confirmation, but this is what is being shared with us by students and or their parents. And this gentleman told me that his freshman daughter was inside a classroom and that a student left that classroom, was gone for a few minutes, and then later returned, came in, and then shot their teacher. What's not clear is if that particular story shared by that father, if that was connected to the math teacher. Honestly, from what I've heard, it doesn't sound like it. But again, before we make any type of the connections there, we do want to wait for official confirmation. But it kind of sounds like, from what the students were describing, these are two separate incidents, because you would have a student coming back into that classroom and shooting the teacher on one account, and then separately at a hallway, a teacher coming to check out what was going on and then getting shot. So it does sound like there was at least two separate scenes kind of unfolding at one section of the school at least. But of course, we are still waiting from the sheriff's office and other responders to officially release information. I mean, they are out here in full force working on confirmation, but as you can imagine, a very hectic scene. And as we've described to you, us and the fellow crews, I mean, the response out here has just been tremendous. And even just getting anywhere near this school, it's going to take you about a 1.5 mile walk, a trek to get out here, just because of all the families pouring in, and also the responders that are lined up trying to not only help process the scene, but also kind of coordinate if and when the families reunite, and also just support this county, because this is just something, as that one sophomore described, as something that happens in the movies or that you see on the national news, but you never think will happen, especially in this smaller community, this smaller, tight-knit town.